Hey guys, it's Karrie and I'm doing my end of the month chat with you. There's still a few days left in the month, but I wanted to share my goals for February and how I've been doing for January. My battery light is blinking at me, so I don't know how much time I've got. And then I've also got a very serious thing to share with you that happened to my mom. Some of you may already know about it because I've let a few friends know, but I will share that at the end because it was very serious, and I feel like if I start with that, there's no point in talking about the other stuff. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I'm going to try to rush through this because I don't know how much battery life I've got. So goals for February are less butter in my life. I decided I need to do less butter, and I want to get at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. So those are my two major goals for February. I decided just to do two. In addition to that, continuing the budget and the savings, that is something I definitely want to continue all year. Let's see how I've been doing for January with no sweets. Let's see. I don't think I cheated in my mind, but I did have some peppermint candies a couple days. That might have been cheating a little bit. Okay, Coco, shh, Mommy's filming. I don't know if you heard her, but she just growled at the neighbor. She sees him across the street. I had a few biscuits that's not in the sweet category, but I put some jam on them, so I didn't feel like I was cheating because it wasn't candy, it wasn't cake, it wasn't cookies, it wasn't pie, stuff like that. Let me pick Coco up. Okay, here she is. Now Chanel wants over here. So I think I did really well, but the first couple weeks, the cravings for sweets, I wasn't really getting them. But then they came back with a flourish, and I've wanted sweets like you guys wouldn't believe. Let me grab Chanel. Okay, here's Chanel. So yeah, I want sweets more now than ever, and I'm not sure if that's just because I'm really addicted to them, or I've been having like the jam on on a biscuit, and that was sweet enough to make me want to crave them more. So that's something I really need to readdress. So what I decided to do to move that transition into February, even though that's not another goal, is to have minimal sweets one day a week, and then concentrate on really reducing the sugar intake the rest of the week and paying attention to labels. I hope that makes sense. So we'll see how that goes. The no caffeine thing has gotten better, but I tell you, I want a Dr. Pepper like you wouldn't believe. I don't think it's the caffeine so much as I just want that Dr. Pepper. I'm craving that Dr. Pepper. So I decided that I'm going to let myself have one Dr. Pepper, probably February the 1st. I know it's probably a really bad idea, and then no caffeine for the rest of February. No, so that's my plans for February. Savings has gone well. I rolled all of the change that I've been saving plus the change that I got for Christmas, and everything that I rolled was $118.50. So I've been saving some of the change about 9 months, and then I got a small little bag of it for Christmas. So I still have other change that I just didn't have enough to roll into those coin rollers. So savings has gone really well. I have put a pretty decent amount in my savings account. Very pleased with that. So that's all well and good. I've got one eBay story to tell you. I've only sold one thing for January, and it turned out to be a mess. It was a new with tag Banana Republic black t-shirt. You think, how could that be controversial? So this girl made me an offer, and it was an offer that basically gave her free shipping, even though I still charge the shipping. I usually catch people when they do that and know what they're doing. They'll reduce the offer by the amount of shipping to get free shipping. Most of the time, I won't take it. I will make them another offer where they don't get free shipping because I don't do free shipping. Nobody really does free shipping. Shipping's always built into the price, even if it says free shipping. So, anyway, I went ahead and accepted her offer. I'm like, you know what? I just want to get rid of this eBay stuff. We'll just do this. So I want to say it was maybe 2 weeks after because I shipped that early January, and it was about, I want to say a week and a half to 2 weeks, I got a message that the buyer wanted to return the t-shirt. Remember, it's new with tags, and the claim was it didn't fit. I don't accept returns unless I have made a mistake with something, and then I'll gladly accept it if it wasn't as described because I made the mistake. If it's just buyer's remorse or it doesn't fit, not my fault. So I basically just didn't claim it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't accept the return, and just put in there, you know, I always leave a note in my listing that says, or in the rejection of that offer, and say, it's in my offer. I write it in the description, plus I've got the button check that says no returns accepted. And so I just declined the offer, I mean the request. I'm sorry, my mind is all rattled right now, and I'll get to that in a minute. So I didn't hear from her for several days, and then I got a message from her, I want to say it was Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Monday. And my battery just died, and I had to switch cameras, and this particular one I can't see if it's in focus or not, so I'm hoping it is focusing on me. I will see in the editing process. So anyway, as I was saying, I got an email from the buyer after I'd already rejected her return request, and it gave me some convoluted story that was very much different than her it doesn't fit. Very, very different. So I don't know which story was true, which one was false. And right in the moment of when I got this other thing was going on in my mom's life that it didn't affect me. You'll understand in a minute. I don't want to make it seem like it was my issue, but yet it was. So I wasn't in a mood to listen to this person, but on the other hand, I had just been praying for my mom, and I felt compassionate, I guess you could say, when I saw the email. When I originally saw it, I wasn't, but then I was praying, and then I was like, you know what? I feel compassion towards this person. So I didn't do anything about it that day. And then the next day, I got another email begging me to accept the return. And she even gave me an acceptable offer of what she was willing to accept, which was crazy because she was asking more than she paid for the item. And I still was not in a good mindset to realize that she was scamming me. So I sent her an email back and basically said, I don't want the item back. I don't accept returns. Coco wanted back in Mommy's lap, didn't you? So hopefully this will focus again. And I said, I'll give you $5. And that was it. And because I was feeling a lot of compassion at the moment because of something bad that had happened, but it turned out good. And I didn't want to be like really harsh about it in case this woman was going through a situation that was horrible in her life, and I didn't want to seem like just a horrible person. After I refunded the money, I started marinating on that, and I realized I do believe she was scamming me because she had lied to me, then gave me a sob story, making me feel sorry for her, and then asked for more money than she paid for it, but she did accept the $5, which basically she was saying that she went through some manic state, and that she just bought and bought and bought and bought and dug herself into a really deep hole, I guess, of debt. She didn't say debt, and that she was trying to return everything that she had bought. That very well may be true. I don't know this person, but she'd already lied to me at one point because the first story was it didn't fit. Maybe it did. I don't know, but it was two completely different stories, and so I don't know what was going on. I hope she is getting any help that she needs, and that she needs to, if she can't control her shopping, which I understand it's addictive, but if you go into a manic state where you just buy uncontrollably and get yourself in this huge hole where you just can't stop yourself, maybe get some help for that. I don't know. But it's not the person you bought from's fault. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that story. But I did give her $5 back, so I ended up making on that sale, I think, $5.86. So that's all I made on it, was $10.86, and I gave her $5 back. So, and then she was offering to give me, asking me to return her $12. So she didn't even pay $12 for it. So anyway, neither here nor there at this point. So, what has been going on? I was going to look at the calendar and see what the date it was. I know what day it was. I want to say it was the 20th. Yeah, I think it was the 20th, Sunday the 20th. My mom had a heart attack. And, it was an extremely scary experience for me and my dad. She told me she wasn't scared at all. She was just hurting. So she gets to the ER Sunday afternoon, and they take her immediately back and just moved so fast. So I can't even tell you how fast the doctors and nurses worked. And they got her, bypassed all the other patients, and which I'm sure they were there for good reasons as well. But when you're having severe chest pain, she was having severe chest pains. And so they did an EKG. It was abnormal, and they took her back to a room in the ER and called a cardiologist in. He looked at the EKG and said, we need to get her to the cath lab and put a stent in. And so they called the cath team in, is what they said, and they said they're 30 minutes out. I don't know if they were in the hospital, had to drive in. I don't know what was going on. So probably within 45 minutes of her getting to the emergency room, they had her in the cath lab putting a stent in. And then she was in that cath lab for about an hour-ish. And so my dad and I were in the waiting room, and then the doctor came out and spoke to us, and he said she did have a heart attack, and it was a big one, and that he was able to put a stent in. And I don't remember the doctor saying this. My dad remembers it. He said 2/3 of her heart was blocked, or arteries were blocked, or not getting blood flow through it. And so he said, but was able to get the stent in, that opened it up, and that there was minimal damage to her heart. So a lot of prayer was going up. Our pastor and his wife came, and we prayed, and then a lot of the church people started praying. And so they took her to the cardiac ICU, and they said, we're going to, probably keep you in here a day or two, and we're just going to watch you, see how things go. So the next day, on Monday, they were giving her medication to take, and apparently the night before they had given her some medication, and one of the pills might have gotten stuck. So when she was taking the pills the next morning they were giving her, she ended up in extreme pain again, and she said it was worse than the heart attack that she had the day before, and she thought she was having another heart attack. And they did another EKG on her, and that seemed to be okay. And then they did an echo on her, and they basically, without having like a scope going down her esophagus, the assumption was that a pill did get stuck and created an abrasion on her esophagus and created a lot of pain for that. But after that was over with, they did get the results back from that echo. I think it's an echocardiogram. They mentioned ultrasound. I think it's all the same thing. And the doctor said he was extremely pleased with her results. She got really, really good results from the echo. So they did keep her in the ICU through... she was supposed to go to a regular room on Wednesday, but her room didn't open up until like early Thursday morning. So my dad told me, well, only one person is allowed to stay with her overnight in the ICU. So he was staying with her at night. I go during the day and give him a break. So he said they moved them out at 1 a.m. into a regular room. He said it was an awful night while they were waiting because they couldn't get any sleep thinking they were going to move her. But she has gotten extremely good results, and the surgeon that did her stent said that she probably will end up feeling so much better after this because now more of her heart is working. There was minimal damage. Even though you don't wish a heart attack on her whatsoever, this did allow them to put that stent in and help her out. So I want to thank everybody that's been praying. I don't know how many people that have been praying will watch this, but if you have been praying, thank you so much for praying for my mom. She is doing well as can be expected right now, and I'm about to go see her. I know I probably shouldn't be filming this while she's still in the hospital, but I'm going to go give my dad a break. I wanted to sit down and film this while I had kind of the mental clarity to do it. I didn't have it a few days ago because it did honestly stress me out a lot. But, you know, I hate to say I'm stressed when somebody else is having a problem because it's like it's not about me, but that's something that I can't control. But after visiting her one day, I came home and just had my own prayer meeting, and I prayed a lot. And I've got to tell you, I was greatly just like this burden and load was just lifted off of me, and I can't tell you how good I felt after praying for her and just going through that. And so, you know, everything seems to be good now. The doctor wants her to get some strength before she is allowed to leave the hospital. I don't know how she's going to do it because you can't rest in the hospital. They will drive you crazy, even though they take wonderful care. The doctors and nurses are amazing at the hospital that she's at. So, they don't let you get a lot of rest, but they are extremely attentive, amazing, and just the greatest people. So I am so thankful for all of them that have taken great care of her. So I'm going to go ahead and end this chat video. So overall, January has been a bit interesting to say the least, between getting off of sweets, caffeine, trying to save more money, my mom's heart attack. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to tell you. It's really petty, but it's back to the sweet thing. I just got to confess, I have not, other than what I've already confessed about eating, I have been buying sweets to eat when I was going to allow myself to eat. And I didn't realize, even though I knew intellectually and mentally I was buying sweets, I didn't realize that I was buying them and hoarding them until I looked at my sweet stash and went, oh my goodness, what have you done? So I'm probably going to end up giving a lot of these away because it did hit me that I made a mistake. And that is that sweet addiction. Oh, sorry about that. A delivery truck just drove down the road and the girls decided to bark at it. But it is real. A sweet addiction is real. Shopping addictions are real. I do understand that. So I realized that eBay story was rambly. I seriously don't know what's going on with that person, but I had that. So January's had some drama. Another, on a very positive note, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. I am down 9.8 pounds since January 1. So that is a wonderful note. And what I have done is not eat any cookies, cake, pie, candy, stuff like that, minus the peppermints and the jam that I had with a biscuit. Or 2 or 3, not every day, but a few days. Then I did intermittent fasting, where I'm fasting a minimum of 16 hours a day, and then no caffeinated sodas, no Dr. Pepper. I think Dr. Pepper was a huge amount. So 9.8 pounds. It is Thursday the 24th. I actually weighed yesterday, so I was down 9.8 pounds on the 23rd. So with all that being said, there's been some really like roller coaster emotions and things that have happened in January, but overall I'm going to say January has been really good because my mom is still alive. Yesterday was her birthday, and she made it to her 71st birthday, and everybody, the doctors seem to be very pleased with the results, and the the prognosis seems really good, and she should actually be feeling a lot better. And so super pleased about that. I'm pleased about my weight loss. I'm pleased about my save. Guys, this camera cut me off. The flash drive is almost full, so I got to get this ending out really, really fast, or this video is so disjointed. I'm sorry about that. But as I was saying, to lose the 9.8 pounds, I just cut out most sweet things, cookie, cake, pie, candy, gave up the Dr. Peppers and other caffeine, and I was doing intermittent fasting for a minimum of 16 hours a day. So overall, for January, when you take into the totality of everything that's happened, I feel better mentally, spiritually, physically. Oh my goodness, physically, I feel so much better physically than I've felt in 6 months. So I'm, pleased with the results of what's going on in my body, and I just hope to get even a little further with that and get even healthier, and that is what's going on. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope your January is going wonderfully, and hope February is even better. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.